Pete Nelson from the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center in the University of Washington. I'm a medical oncologist with training in prostate cancer, and I'm the director of the Canary Prostate Team. When we started the prostate program, we recognized that prostate cancer is a bit different than almost any of the other cancers that we see and treat, and that the Canary Foundation is involved with. And what I mean by that is we really don't need better tools to detect prostate cancer. We detect tens of thousands of cases every year, and it's very apparent that the vast majority of prostate cancers will behave quite indolently, but there's a subset that are very dangerous and lethal. So the goal for the team and the projects that we've developed were to identify those cancers that were going to behave aggressively and distinguish them from the ones that would be indolent. So we developed two primary components of our program or our plan. The first component looked backward, looked back in time. So the institutions that collaborate together as part of the team have a long track record of studying prostate cancer and had developed some very valuable biospecimen banks where we knew the outcomes of those individuals that comprised those banks. And so the first component of the whole project is to find biomarkers that retrospectively could associate with those cancers that behaved aggressively and were lethal versus those cancers that never caused a problem subsequently in those individuals. The second component of the project is now moving forward, and that is if we follow individuals into the future, can some of these markers that we identified looking back, can they now predict how a given individual's cancer will behave? In order to do that, it took an entirely new way of thinking about prostate cancer that had just started to really be practiced by a couple of the physicians that participate in Canary. And that is a concept called active surveillance. Active surveillance basically means that you're an individual that has been diagnosed with cancer, in this case prostate cancer, but by all the current criteria that we have, we can say that this cancer is unlikely to behave aggressively. So we're not going to treat it. We're not going to put a man through surgery or radiation that has potential negative side effects and consequences, but rather we're going to monitor that individual over time. The ultimate goal is to have a better marker prior to even getting a prostate biopsy. So right now the current screening test, PSA, prostate-specific antigen, which is quite controversial at the moment in terms of a very accurate screening test. The reason it's controversial is PSA picks up both those indolent non-aggressive cancers as well as the aggressive cancers. So where our ultimate goal, where we would like to be, is to have a blood test or a urine test or some other non-invasive test that could obviate the need for a biopsy, to be able to upfront distinguish you have a prostate cancer, but not the kind that even needs a biopsy or treatment, versus you have a prostate cancer that we need to take a closer look with a biopsy.